Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. So I've had a lot of people ask questions about Food Saver and that they were looking to get one and things like that. So what I did today is I went and stocked up on meat. I went and defrosted my freezer, all right, cleaned it out, and I only had a little bit of meat in there. So I put that in my refrigerator's freezer, and my big freezer is ready to go. So I went, as you can see here, I went and I stocked up on beef. I probably have about a good 50 to 60 pounds of beef. All right. So what I wanted to do is really quick, just show you how I process it with the Food Saver. That way you guys can have an idea of how to do it where the meat will not get freezer burn, or it will give your meat the best chances of not getting freezer burn. So as you can see, what I've done here is I've layered the meat in paper towels to try and dry it out a little bit. Okay, I haven't gotten to these yet, but these will be next. And what I'm going to do next is they've been sitting there for about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to wrap them in parchment paper, right? I don't have butcher paper. I know that would probably be, best and cheaper, but I've got parchment paper, so that's what I'm going to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out, well, I already talked to Miss Alaska Prepper, and 2-pound packages is what's best for us. All right, because we're a family of 4. 2 pounds is half a pound each per meal. However, you have to remember that when you cook the meat, you're going to lose a lot of weight. Or not a lot, but I guess you're going to lose about 25% of its weight in water. Okay, so a 2-pound pack of meat, you're probably only getting really 1.5 pounds or so of actual meat after it's been cooked down. Okay, so that's why we go with 2 pounds. All right, and what I'm going to do is before I wrap them in the parchment paper, I'm going to go ahead and weigh them to get as close to 2 pounds as we can. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do now. I'll just show you real quick how I do one of them. That way you guys can have an idea. And then I'll bring you all back. I'll bring you all back when I start putting them in the Food Saver or storing them with the Food Saver, so that you guys can see how I do it. A lot of people are afraid of putting meat in the Food Saver because of the wetness, right? Because it sucks out the moisture. But if you do it like this and you get your meat as dry as you can, all right, and then pack it in your parchment paper, you're not going to have that problem. Okay, so let's turn this on and zero it. There's on. Let's put our plate on and we'll zero it. Okay, and then ladies and gentlemen, all you do is really, if you don't have one of these little scales, I would recommend them. It's very nice to have. They're pretty inexpensive. You can find any of these for less than 20-15 bucks at Amazon. This is where I picked this one up, and I've had it for a few years and it works great. All right, I've never had any problems with it. All right, and it goes all the way down to the 1.5 ounce or a fraction of an ounce, and it also does kilograms. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab my first pieces of meat here. And it's nice when they're somewhat dry because you can handle them and not be dripping all over or anything like that. All right, so I can see there, that's just a little over 1 pound right there. Actually, that's a little over 1 pound. And one small one will do it. Okay. So there you go. That's just shy of 2 pounds. That actually looks like a good amount. I think I'm going to leave it at about 1.5 pounds because that's 1 pound and 12 ounces. And that to me looks like a pretty good amount. There's a lot of meat in here. So, all right. So just weigh it out like that. And then let me go ahead and move this over a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, there's really no wrong way of wrapping this. Okay, I'm sure that if we have any experienced butchers out there, they may play circles around me and wrapping meat. But really all you want to do is pretty much just enclose it and try to kind of like seal it with the paper. Okay, and a good thing to have is have a dirty towel handy. All right, a towel that you're going to be able to clean your hands on. All right, and know that it is not sanitary for any other use except for cleaning your hands off from the meat. Okay, so this is something you're going to put in the wash after you're done. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm wrapping a burrito. Okay. Remember when I was showing you guys how to wrap the burritos? And this is it. I don't even put tape on it, right? I just go like this. It's wrapped. And then I put it to the side. I go to my next one. When I've got this batch done, I'm going to take out my food saver. And then I'll put these in the food saver. I'll suck the air out. Okay, and the air is going to be able to come out of here. That's what's good about this, right? I'll put these in the food saver, put them in the freezer, and then I'll do my next batch. All right, so I'll be back in a few minutes. When I finish wrapping the rest of these, I'll go ahead and wrap one more, all right? That way you guys can have a really good idea of what I'm doing. And I don't mean to insult anyone's intelligence, but the truth of the matter is that some people have never done this. And the more that they see it, the more comfortable that they get doing it themselves. And you know what I think, ladies and gentlemen, when you can do something yourself, I think it comes out better, and I think it's more gratifying, and it saves you money, right? So I'm going to go ahead and now I'm going to grab a few pieces, because I know that it's going to take at least a few pieces to equal my 2 pounds. I'm going to weigh it. All right, so there we go. That's almost good. And I've got a nice big piece here that'll probably do the job. All right, and this is a full 2 pounds, and I got one large piece there. That's a really nice cut too. Just put your meat on there. Okay, and then let's make our burrito. And this one here is a full 2 pounds. That's why it's a little bigger, which is fine. So, there you go. All right. You got your meat wrap. Just make sure that when you lay it on the counter, wherever you're going to lay them and stack them before you food saver them, that you just keep the seam down. That way it won't open up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in a few minutes. It's going to take me a few minutes to do the rest of these, but I'll be back and we'll be set up with the food saver. That way you'll see how it looks. When you do it this way, you don't have to worry about any of the juices coming out. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I've got my food saver all set up. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. I've got my food saver set up, okay? So the first thing you're going to want to do, okay, once you've got it plugged in, is you're going to get your bag, your roll of bags, okay? Now, this is a bigger roll. When I bought this, it was a really big roll, so I can't really fit it in here to cut it. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut my bags while I'm holding this, all right? Which is, it's okay to do. It's just a little more, you have to be a little more careful. But one thing you want to do is you want to test out a bag or two to see exactly what size you're going to need. That way you don't waste too much bag, okay? Now, I wish that I would have had the wider roll, all right? I think this is an 8-inch roll or so, and this is all I've got left. I looked in my food saver box, and all I had left was this. So, but this will work, okay? So now, to cut it, all I do is I determine what size I need, okay? And to try to get a straight cut, I'm not sure if you guys can see from there, right? But to try to get a straight cut, which you really want to get a straight cut, it works out better. You see this little lip back here? You see this edge? You see that straight edge? Okay, right there. I just line my bag up with that straight edge and make sure that it's straight, okay? And this right here, this is your blade. This right here is your blade, okay? So once you've got your bag lined up and you've got it where you want to cut it, okay? It's nice and straight, okay? You're going to take your blade, you're going to push down, okay? And then you're going to bring it across. And that cuts your bag. All right? So that's a nice straight cut right there, as you can see. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to seal your bag. All right. Sealing your bag, this right here is the element that seals it. There's one on the top over here, and then there's a rubber on the top as well. You can see this rubber right here, right? This rubber right here will seal it down, and it will allow your bag to seal up. Now, I like to do 2 seals on it. So what I do is I put my bag as about, I would say about 1/8 of an inch past the seal, past this black part. I put it about 1/8 of an inch after that, right? I hold it, I bring it down, okay? And then you have to close the handle, right? So you see now the bag will hold itself. And then all you do is you just press the button that says seal right here, okay? And it'll turn red. And when the button is no longer red, when that button turns off, you see how it turned off on its own? That means that it's sealed, okay? Now, I like to double seal my bags, okay? So now that it's sealed, I'm going to go ahead and take the seal portion. You see the seal right here? See how it's like clear, translucent? Okay. I'll take this seal portion and I'll put this on top of the black element. Okay. And then I'll do a double seal. Now, you don't have to do a double seal, but I like to. Okay. Just in case that first seal fails. You just close it. All right. This handle right here, you see that handle? That's where you push down. That'll close it. And then you just press the button that says seal. It's going to turn red. And then it'll turn off in about 3-5 seconds. There you go. So what I like to do is I like to get all of my bags ready. And then once all of my bags are ready, I go ahead and start doing the vacuum sealing. Okay. So now when you put your meat in here, ladies and gentlemen, trust me, you don't have to be gentle. Okay, as long as you can get it in there, that's all that matters. And like I said, these bags are probably a little smaller than what I should have to do this, but it'll still work. All right, yes, you don't have to be nice to it. It's already dead. All right, so you're just gonna shove it in there. Okay, you see that? There you go. Okay, now all you're gonna do is, and you see this amount of extra bag I've got? That right there is, as far as I'm concerned, perfect for me. You have to remember that once you get this meat back out of the bag, you can reuse these bags. So all you have to do is clean them, dry them out, put them to the side, and you can reuse them, okay? So you're going to take the lip of the bag, and you see this space right here? Let me show you. There's a little drip tray right there, okay? There's a little drip tray, that way in case any moisture comes out, it'll go in there. But the space in between the drip tray, you can put your bag in there like that, all right? And then just close your lid, hold it, shut it, and then all you're going to do is you're going to put it on moist, okay? And then you're going to press vacuum seal. Okay, you're going to press this button. Remember, this was the button that I was pressing when I was doing the jars. In this case, we're going to press this button right here, okay? And then while it's sealing, all right, I'm going to hit seal. While it's sealing, I kind of try to help it a little bit by tightening the meat, putting my hands around the meat hard so that most of the air inside will come out. And it will, you'll see. And then, of course, you have to wait until it seals. And then what I'll do is as soon as it's done, I'll go ahead and bring it down a little bit. And I'm going to hit the seal one more time so I can get a double seal on it. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how easy it is. Okay? So whenever you can buy your meat in bulk, you could probably save yourself some money by doing this part yourself instead of paying a butcher to do it. Okay, and one thing you want to remember is now that the meat is still pliable, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you set it down on a nice flat surface and then stack them on top of each other. That way when you stack it in the fridge, it'll be nice and flat already. Okay, so that's how we do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys got something out of this, especially those of you that don't have a food saver and have been thinking about getting one. Okay, if you guys want to stick around, I'll come back in a few minutes, or more like an hour or so, my time, when I've got all my meat processed and you guys can see what it all looks like. All right, I'll see you in a minute. We are all done, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I'll tell you what, if you want to become a vegan, go ahead and pack up 50 pounds of beef. You get tired of handling it after a while. So this is what it looks like. Everything came out really nice. As you can see, they're all individually packed. And each package there has anywhere between like 1 3/4 pounds to 2 pounds of meat. So it pretty much filled up my freezer. Now, I won't keep it like this. I just spread them out like this so that they can freeze quicker. And then I'll probably stack them up on top of each other, so I don't use up all my freezer space. But that's what it looks like. Not too bad. Pretty gratifying. I'm glad that I'm done now. This will stock up my freezer for probably the next 2 to 3 months, because we don't really eat beef that much, to tell you the truth here. We mainly like chicken and pork. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Hope this encourages you to go out there and get yourself a food saver if you don't have one. You know, it doesn't take a lot. You don't have to buy it brand new. Take a look at Craigslist, you know, take a look on eBay, or just take a look around your local area Facebook sales, things like that. All right, you can probably pick one up pretty inexpensive. The only thing that I would say about that is I personally wouldn't do that. I wouldn't buy a used one, because who knows what they used it for or how they treated it. But you know, if you buy one that's used, just make sure you clean it really well and sanitize it, and then make sure it works too before you pay for it. You know, tell them to show you it working before you pay for it. But if you do want to take a look at one and buy one, just take a look at my description. There is a link for one there. Unfortunately, the model that I have, they don't sell it anymore because it's really old. I was looking at that box the other day, and I bought that in 2006. So I've had that food saver for 13 plus years now. I bought it in February of 2006. So if you take care of it, it's going to last you a long time, just like anything else. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope you got something out of this. If you did, please give it a like and share. Leave a comment. Leave any suggestions, recommendations that you may have. As you can see, I didn't label any of these. The only one, I labeled 2 of them, sorry. I labeled 2 of them that say pork, because I only bought 1 pack of pork, because we've got a lot of pork in the other freezer. So I bought 1 pack of pork and I labeled it pork, and I know these are all pretty much the same cuts. There's like 2 different cuts, and I can tell what the cut is just by looking at it. As you can see, this one here, and then take a look at that one. So there's 2 different cuts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I hope you got something out of this. I hope it encourages you to go out there and put away some of your own beef. Get it in the family pack or larger if you can. That way you can save some money on the processing, and that you're paying someone else to process it for you, and then do it yourself. It took me probably about an hour and a half from start to finish. All right, not counting going to the store and buying the meat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.